Hey, peace and blessings, everybody. Drill Hassan, Light the Minds Enterprise, also known as Mr. Shift Your Perspective. I have this thought, and it's about pain. I was having a conversation with someone, and the thought about pain and change came to mind. You know, that was a part of the conversation, rather, or a statement that was made in the conversation. And it's one thing that I realized about real change, right? You know, you have a certain kind of change where we sometimes change just to fit in, or we change to, get someone to like us, or to be around a certain company of people or a certain group. You know, we act a certain way that we feel is needed or necessary to fit in or to be accepted, right? But I've always said that is not real change, because that type of change is very inconsistent, because you can't keep that up. It's not really who you are. So whenever we change just to fit in or to be a part of a certain environment or to be accepted, we're still going to get a lot of difficulties and issues, because if they're not truly accepting who we are, like in truth or really, then every time that true person comes out of that not being who we were, that changed person, right? Then there's going to be an issue. So that's one type of change, right? And you know, one thing I had always said was that if a person, as long as a person is receiving some form or level of reward or gratification, or I guess you could say some kind of benefit out of doing what they do, being who they are, you know, continuing just whatever habits that we have, whatever it is, I might, even if I know what I'm doing is wrong, you know what I'm saying, whether I'm cheating or whether I'm violating some kind of law or violating some kind of policy at work, or cutting any type of corners, right? As long as I'm getting out of it what I basically want out of it, even when I know it's wrong, I will continue to do it. And sometimes a person continues to do it even when they suffer sometimes repercussions. Sometimes when we get the results that we didn't necessarily want, we'll still continue to do it if we normally get what we want more than we get not what we want. Kind of similar if a person goes in and out of prison because of the lifestyle they live out here in society, and which end up getting them in trouble and end up, repetitively getting locked up. You know, a person doing what they're doing because they feel that it's worth it. What makes something worth it is the fact that they're getting out of it what they desire more than they receive of that, not, that of what they don't want. So I've always said that the only thing that typically changes a person is when they're met with a force that is forceful enough to compel them in a different direction. So a lot of times when you're able to see something and just take heed and change the route you're going and go a different direction, I consider that to be blessed. I consider that for me, that God has a lot of mercy on you. That's from my perspective. God has a lot of mercy on you for you just to be one who can see something and take heed. Because the average human being seems to have to go and find out the hard way. We very investigative by nature, so it's like we can see, but we want to go and see if it's really what I see. I see some stuff going on over there, but let me go and see if it's really what I see. And so once we begin to incur or reap certain penalties or repercussions as a result of that investigation, then it's confirmed that, yeah, I seen what I thought I seen. But damn, I wish I hadn't seen it. I hadn't went and investigated. But one thing about that is that experience gave me a certain kind of understanding and knowledge that supersedes now the individual who saw it and took heed. The person who went through the experience, they can relate what they seen and took heed, but they go a little further and add a little bit more experience to it now. Because when they went and experienced it, they received a whole lot more than just what they seen and comprehended. Right? But here's my point. Oftentimes, change requires a lot of pain. You know, once we get down a certain path in life, I've told people that you'll figure it out once you suffer enough. You'll change and go in a different direction once you've felt enough pain, once you've cried enough, once you've literally suffered enough. Another way of saying is that some people say, when you're tired of being tired. When you're sick and tired of being tired, then you'll do something different. But the thing about that particular way of changing is that we don't know what that level of suffering may cost us. We don't know what that experience would take from us or take with it in exchange. You see, every lesson requires a due to be paid. For me to give you something, you got to give me something out of it. You see, the pain that you incur, the crying and the tears and all that you incur, isn't what the experience may just require. There's a due, there's a cost. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know if you ever heard the saying that sometimes it may cost you a little, sometimes it may cost you a lot, but it's definitely going to cost you something. You dig what I'm saying? That's just how life requires a due to be paid. And you see, whenever we pay in advance, the hard work that we have to put forth in advance before we receive something, the reason why that's the best route is because we pay in advance for that which we want, and once we've paid for it, we don't get it until we pay for it. So once we received it, we don't really necessarily have to worry about anything else required out of it. But anytime we circumvent the process, anytime we cut any types of corners in life, anytime we just so bent on receiving gratification, anytime we have made a habit of always not wanting to face difficulty straight up, therefore we like to circumvent the process by trying to minimize or take away from the effect of the process. You know, there's some sweat and tears that come with the hard work. There's like some sleepless nights that come with the studying and the hard work before one go and pass the test and get the degree, right? But for an individual who like to circumvent the process, you see, a lot of times we want to get straight to the gratification. And see, for many of us who have made a habit, a culture, a ritual of circumventing the process just to get to the gratifying part, for many of us, at some point or another, we can testify that it's not worth it. That what we have finally acquired, it's not worth it. For an individual who's standing on the outside looking in, may oh man, they enjoying the life. They getting it, or she getting it. She seems to always have this, that, and other, or he seems to always have this, that, that, and other. But is he going through the process? Is she going through the process? There's many different forms and ways of bypassing the process just to get to the prize. There's many different forms of ways of that. And all you have to do is look at the results you receive. Look at the results. If you reach the gratification and find yourself paying 10 times or 100 times more after you received it and you lost that which you were striving for in the process, that means you circumvented the process. You see, when something is yours, when you've worked for it, you don't lose it like that. It's like you get some insurance put on it, so even if something happened to it, you get that back in some. Because that's yours. You work for that. But anytime we cheat, anytime we lie to get somebody, anytime we put up facades to get somebody, anytime we stump over folks just to get a certain job or a certain position, anytime we go and, sell a little bit of something and do this, that, that, and other in these streets just to kind of get ahead. You see, I mean, hey, man, let me say this. I understand because I, too, am faced with the same pressures. And sometimes I fail. Sometimes I cheat. As a result of this is what I've been doing for so long, and my instinctive nature kicks out of those old bad habits. I fight it because I know better. And because I know better, I'm talking to you. I'm telling you. I'm being faithful to my path. I'm being true to the course that I'm on. Because I know that as long as I continue to do the work, I'm going to get out of it what I need. You see, I'm going to cry now and suffer now and pain now for that which I want to receive, because I know that once I get it, it's going to be a beautiful thing. And let me tell you something. It matters how we get what we want. You see, you know how they say you sell your soul for some of these things in this material world? You know, and when I'm saying what I'm saying, I don't necessarily want you to look at it in a way saying I'm gonna go to hell for it. No, it's not the idea, the concept I want you to comprehend right now. When I say sell your soul, right now I'm talking about sometimes you're bargaining with something of yourself that's invaluable. It's things about you, your person, that is invaluable when it comes to the things that you're willing to trade it for. We trade it for material things. See, like your respect for yourself, like your name, your reputation. You feel what I'm saying? You see, those things are going to surpass you. Those things are going to be here after you long and gone. And it matters what people say about your name. The reason why it matters, it might not matter to you because you're gone, but it's going to matter to your seeds. You see, your name is going to affect your seeds. And it's one thing that I'm blessed to have realized, and I've always told people, the reason why I guard my name and my character in the way that I do. I'm saying with my life. I'm saying with your life, my name and my character is because I have seeds that have to travel behind me. And I don't want my name to be threw dirt on and my seeds suffer from my name as a result of something that I do, especially something that I didn't do. Now I do believe this, that as long as I travel right, what people say about me will be cleared in time. What people may do, I'm just kind of throwing this as an extra, but my whole point is this here. Some things about you isn't worth what you're trying to strive and attain. Because the things you're trying to strive and attain are so faded. It's here today and gone tomorrow. You see those tangible material things. I'm talking about even the attention of another person. You can't attain that. It's nothing about you should be willing to trade that for. Anyway, that's my whole point, is that when you suffered enough, when you cried enough, when you've been through enough, when you tired of being tired, that's going to create a force that's going to cause you to go into a different direction. But it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. Peace and blessings.